Hello everybody. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. I am Tpull. My name is Travis. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff. We are starting a new series today. It is called Decks That Have Beat Me. And basically what happens is every now and then I face a deck and it seems to have just the most awesome opening hand, like the perfect opening hand. And it's using cards I wouldn't have thought to combine myself. And that's always important education for me. It grabs my attention. The frustrating thing with Magic Online, here in the arena, is whenever I try and take anybody else's concept, whenever I see another deck and I try and duplicate it, it never works the same way for me. Like, just doesn't matter. That perfect hand that they got, I will never get it. Like maybe once out of every 99 tries. So that's what's been happening with this deck. But we're going to try it. And basically, it's called mirror copies because we're using the mirror box. And we're making copies of the mirror box. So whenever we get multiple copies of the same creature out, they'll be pumped up. And also legendary creatures get pumped up. And this is probably the boring artifact deck, the Oni Anticold or whatever it's called. Okay, we're going to put down Augur of Autumn. And because the deck wasn't working, I added in 2 cards. And Augur of Autumn is one of them. And not everything here is from the opponent's deck, because he beat me within 4 or 5 turns, so I only saw like maybe 5 or 6 cards. So it's left to me to fill in the gaps with the concept of the deck and find something that I think works. Don't need flyers. And we're actually off to an okay start. The key of this whole deck, I think, is having the cheap mana dorks, getting out the mirror boxes and starting the copying process. And what he did to kill me was he got out Jin Gitaxias very quickly. It wasn't on turn 7. So we've got 6 mana already. Maybe we can get him out. Oh, never mind. We don't get him out. That's not usually how I win. That was kind of weird. I wasn't even attacking. Why do you guys quit when I don't attack? I'm trying to be nice. I could have attacked. I didn't. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and show you the overall deck. And I will separate out what cards I saw and what cards I added in. And you guys can let me know if it makes sense to you. Okay, so we're going to create a whole new column here at the front. Reclusive Taxidermist had 4 of those because you add 1 mana of any color. He has 4 Recoil Creepers, which also add 1 mana of any color. And I think I saw at least 1 Llanowar Loam Speaker. So we're going to say that was his. Maybe there was a Joint Exploration in there? Possibly. Just for a little bit of ramp. And then we had mirror boxes. And he would get out the mirror boxes, and then he would copy them with things like Hulking Metamorph. So the Hulking Metamorph has to be an artifact or creature you control. He would only spend the 4 mana. It would come out as a 3/3, but it's because it is a copy of the mirror box, it increases everybody else. So what he basically did was he had 3 Reclusive Taxidermists out, got some mirror boxes out, and then got a Jin Gitaxias out. And so with each, just having 1 mirror box out and 3 Reclusive Taxidermists, the way mirror box works, each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature. So 1 Reclusive Taxidermist will get +1/+1 twice for the other 2. So it would turn from a 1/2 into a 3/4. And so suddenly, instead of having 3/1/2 creatures against me, I had 3/3/4 creatures against me. In the meantime, I also had a Jin-Gitaxias that became a 6/6 because Mirrorbox also pumps up legendaries +1. Then when he puts out the Hulking Metamorph and duplicates the Mirrorbox, everything basically gets doubled. So I took that, and he also had Croaking Counterparts. So this was the deck basically that beat me. There's like 8 cards. If you had 4 copies of them, maybe that's the entire deck. I did not have 4 copies of everything. I've got what I've got. So I filled in with the rest along with the idea. If we're doing copies, since I know what Errant Street Artist can do, if I know that we're going to have a deck based on copying, I'm going to have 1 copy of Errant Street Artist in the deck now. If you haven't seen the original art series, that's kind of fun when it starts to get kicking and I start copying things off. You'll get a sense of why I appreciate this card. Bushwhack can either get me a land if I desperately need it, or that's my 1 fight spell. A couple of essence captures so that I can survive. A Dissipate also for taking out big stuff. Flyers, Broken Wings takes out the flyers. Deathbloom Gardener is a Death Touch chump blocker, plus it gives me 1 mana of any color, so it fits in with being a mana dork. Consuming Tide is if I'm about to get overwhelmed by a whole bunch of tokens. I can return everything not chosen to the owner's hands. They get to choose 1 non-permanent that stays on the battlefield. So do I. Then you draw a card if the opponent has more cards in their hand than I do. Sleep with the Fishes, I can tap 1 creature down so it won't attack me, and I get a little 1/1 fishy. Undercover Operative will enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. I can't copy Jin-Gitaxias because that would be legendary, and you can only have 1 copy of legendary unless you have Mirrorbox down, because then the legend rule doesn't apply. Okay, the other big thing that I added was more flyers, Replication Specialist, 3 copies of them, because whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay a couple mana and create a token. So we can pay mana and actually create additional copies of the Mirrorbox. This, I thought, fit in with the concept very well. I was kind of surprised I didn't see it in here already. And then since I only have 2 Jin-Gitaxias and not 4, I throw in 1 other big card just to have fun with it in case we happen to draw it, 1 with the Multiverse. Mythic Rare card from Brothers War. And I was not having good luck with this deck. I was getting the pants beat off of me trying to duplicate this perfect opening that I saw. So I made 2 recent changes. I added in Augur of Autumn so I can see the top card of my library and play some lands. Because for some reason, even though I actually had a good sized number of lands at first and stuff, I was getting like 2 and 3 lands for the entire match. It was terrible. So I've got 25 lands right now. Because I added in these 2 extra cards, I actually went up to 62, so I'm over my limit, but this should help me with my land problems. And Fauna Shaman. Discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand. So if I'm ready and I don't have Jin-Gitaxias, I can throw away one of these little mana dorks, or say like Croaking Counterpart that makes no sense to copy something, or if an Undercover Operative doesn't make sense to copy something, throw those into the discard pile and go get the card creature that I want. So that is the deck, and we're going to go in and try and demonstrate it in action. And the idea of, I've been a big fan of the Mirrorbox since I first saw it. I fell in love with the card. Love to use it. But I've always been thinking of it in terms of what it just does for me, right? It allows you to keep the multiple copies of the legendary creatures. So every time I'm making a deck with it, my brain is geared towards how many legendary creatures of the same type can I fit into this deck and take advantage of Mirrorbox's capabilities. But that's the legend part. That's the bottom part. I've never really looked at the top part of it where your other creatures get plussed up. If your creatures are getting plussed up and you can copy the Mirrorbox, they're going to get plussed up even more. So that's a good idea, I thought. I'll just put that up now because I don't really have a turn 1 play. We might actually use our Field of Runes. Let's not tip our hand yet. Let's just get out our Mana Dork. We got their 2 most expensive cards in the opening hands. Great. And this is typical, you know. Let's have some dead hands for 5 or 6 turns. What do we want to do? Copy the 2/2 flyer. Oh, are we playing a 5-color deck? What are we missing? Blue right now? Is that it? Well, we made him stop and think, didn't we? Yeah, we'll block. He might have a battle tactic. No, he's just going for an even trade. Okay. That's all you're going to do? Is that all you're going to do? Okay. In that case, let's get rid of the tri-land and make you commit. If you're just playing 3, okay, so maybe it's just a new Capenna deck with 3 colors. In which case, this isn't going to hurt him too bad. He should have some more basic lands in there, right? What do we want? We want an island so we can power up our Dissipate when the time is ready. Or Essence Capture, rather. So that's what we got right now. Our issue is if he puts down something awesome. Oh, actually, no, hang on, because I guess we should go ahead and attack? Yeah? Should I attack? He is at 21. Let's go get some parity. It's only 1 point. There we go. My opponent is truly wondrous. Do we really have a chance against somebody whose name is truly wondrous? Okay, go take care of that one too. I want another island, basically, is why. You're fine, you got all 3 colors already. Ooh, he's going to actually use it. Are you going to cast a spell, or are you just being cheeky? I added my 3rd filter rune on top. Let's do this. You got an instant for 6 mana that you want to play? And now the roping has begun. No attacks, because we want to keep 2 mana open. We just don't want him to know we've got 2 mana open. Recoil Creeper has Summoning Sickness, so we can't use that, but we can use an Essence Capture if he doesn't kill the Taxidermist right away. And he tapped his land for no reason, didn't use it. He's got 6 mana again. And I'm getting kind of suspicious if you're not going to cast a single spell. Oh, you killed my guys. Mirrorbox coming up. So the way my opponent had things, he already had Jin-Gitaxias out by now and was kicking my butt with a buffed up Jin-Gitaxias in multiple mirror copies. Multiple copies of the Mirrorbox, I should say. Okay, we can play this off the top, and all we do is get another land. It's fine. He's got something that holds up priority, so I'm guessing removal? And it might be removal against artifacts. But he's over 20 health, so we're going to get him down under control. Let's get him down to a truly wondrous health total, shall we? No Gala Greeters! No Gala Greeters are allowed. Just not going to happen. They're not allowed. Capiche? Burn down the house. And we're done. Green Widow, which does not have Death Touch. Okay. We're just full casting Jin Gataxias. So he automatically counters. He becomes a 6/6 because of Mirrorbox. He gets a +1, which is nice. So a burn down the house wouldn't do it. But in the meantime, he counters the first artifact, instant, or sorcery. He can still get creatures out, that's fine. But if he wants to kill Gataxias, he has to be able to cast 2 instants during my turn, or 2 instants or sorceries during his turn. Hello? What's up? Yeah, I'll make sure it's done. Okay, I'm in a match right now. Can I call you back? Bye. Okay, he's spending a long time thinking about... Ah, that's why. Ninjutsu. 6 massive points of damage. And he gets a land. Okay? That's a good way around my stuff. Alright, Hulking Metamorph comes in as a copy of Mirrorbox. We get to duplicate Hulking Metamorph. Resolve. I'm going to select the mirror box. We're going to do something else real quick. If we can. See, this is actually the Hulking Metamorph. It's now a 3/3. Oh, I did it wrong. I was going to flash in the Errant Street Artist and copy the copy. Shoot. Did it wrong. No tax. I was distracted. I had a phone call. Okay, I'm done. He's got 2 mana. That does not work because of Jin Gataxias. yeah, he's... You know what? I've done that so many times. Usually with artifacts, I'm usually better with the instants and sorceries, but I always forget about him countering the first artifact. Havabrook, that's a good counter, right? You can just pump up all the creatures. Pump up the Phoenix chick, maybe? Comes an 8/7. And he's gonna do it. Okay, so we will block with the mirror boxes. And one of them gets to stay. Here comes another mirror box. I'm sorry, 2 more mirror boxes. Nice. No attacks. We do have to figure out what to do against the caretaker. Hit me for one. Go for it. Okay. Let's cast this for 0. Throw the land down. Throw the creature down. And throw a second Jingataxis down. Oh yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and throw this down too. Because it's a 4/7 now, because it's a legendary creature and we got 4 mirror boxes. We're attacking with a 13/13. You can have all the hexproof you want now, buddy. How many spells did we cast? You're not going to get to say at nighttime. It goes back to day. They took 13 points of damage because the Phoenix chick can't block and he didn't want to lose the green widow right away. Okay, so we've gotten Enrica. Each player sacrifices a creature, maybe? She's going to have Death Touch, so that gives them a blocker, right? That's what they think. They don't know we have Broken Wings. And you don't have haste there, so that's what, 11 points if I didn't block? Okay, we play the land. Broken Wings, we'll pay for that. We get to copy it, which doesn't really do me... Oh, I can get rid of the Phoenix chick too. Never mind. Boom, boom. Alright, I can afford to pay for you, right? Let's go ahead and sacrifice. We'll get rid of the Proving Grounds again. And let's see what else we can get off the top of our deck other than land. Ah. Okay. So we can cast that for free. And then we're basically attacking. And that's how you get 2 legendary 5/5 creatures to turn into 13/13 creatures. Which usually Avabra Caretaker is a game ender, so I'm kind of happy to have managed that. Especially considering I was talking about how my luck was so horrible with this. But this was the first time I put in the Druid. And being able to see the top of my deck and play it off the top was awesome. I always love doing that. I've made a couple versions over the last couple years of a deck I call Top of the Deck. And that Druid is a key component of it. Let's go do this one more time. We'll see if we have any luck. Jingataxis already. Only one other copy in the deck. Is this going to be an entirely defender deck? I can bring down the Taxidermist. Coral Colony, yep, it's a defender deck. Alright, which means I should probably bring this down now. And we're done? We're done. Just because I have mana for Essence Capture, I'm just going to use it. I want to be able to use it. Okay, 4/4. I'm going to let that go. Alright, so maybe no essence capture. Because if they're going to do that to me, then I've got to get a move on. So let's do Augur of Autumn. Still can't block a 4/4. Land off the top. Recoil Creeper. Mirror Box. No attacks. I can now cast Jin-Gitaxias. Oh good. They got rid of Mirror Box, which is fine, considering everything else. They don't have enough mana to attack, which means I get to put down Jin-Gitaxias. And that's half the game right there. The only thing I gotta watch out for is the white defender that brings in a bunch of flyers. And that's why I keep Essence Capture and Dissipate open. Time is on our side now. If we get another Mirror Box out, I can start using Hulking Metamorph. They want to mill us. Okay. So your regular tactic's not going to work. Oh, there's the Wingmantle Chaplain. They probably have 4. Let's go ahead and beef up Jin-Gitaxias. Oh, look. We can target somebody else. Let's go ahead and beef up Augur. Nice. Okay, it's fine. Another Jin-Gitaxias. Okay, I don't have Mirror Box. So, if I do this, that's fine. I can do that. Because I can still power Dissipate with all of my mana dorks. Thank you. And now I have a flyer. And they don't. And now even if they get the Wingmantle Chaplain out, just my 1 flyer alone is good enough. Keep me on defense. And I don't care what you think you can do. Oh, they're going to mill away my one with the multiverse. That actually does hurt. I was looking forward to using that again. We'll keep that. We'll use Ottawa's as a channel possibility instead of playing it as land. Who needs one with the multiverse? We've got different creatures here, right? Let's see. 3 more creatures with different powers. We've got 2, 3, and 6. So, oh, creature spells, not artifacts. Okay, so I guess we just go over and hit them one more time. Because next turn's going to be the doozy. Next turn they might scoop. If they understand what's going on. Never mind, he's gonna do that, isn't he? He's gonna mill me. Okay, so you know what? Before he mills me, let's see if we can save a Mirror Box. We'll just get out another island. That'll shuffle the decks. We'll see what he mills now. So I already lost 1 Mirror Box. I only have 2 others in there. Resolve. It shuffled and there's still a Mirror Box right on top. Okay. Interesting. 1 Coral Colony is not going to be enough to take me out, buddy. Sorry to tell you. It's not going to happen. Okay. Play that off the top. Play that off the top. keep Dissipate open. I may have to use this as a regular land. No, I've already got one down. Okay, never mind. Can I use that because I have legendaries? Let's just throw it on up. I'm all tapped out now, so that's a risk there. Opponent loses life. So it can mill me for 4 and cost me 4 life. Okay, that ends up being not that big a deal. You can full cast this. And we get to duplicate it. We're gonna copy the replication. Copy the replication. And use the rest of our mana. Autopay. Copy the artifact. And then we're gonna attack with those guys. And unless you can mill me out for 28 cards in the next turn, we're good. So no mirror boxes, but plenty of copying. And that's an artifact, and that one gets countered. But that, you know, that's a 1 mana spell. Maybe he planned for that. There we go. Get Death Touch. Ooh, that draws you a card, which is a land. Death Touch and Indestructible. Okay. So now mill me and make me lose some life, right? Bum, 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 bum. Play the land. Play Jin-Gitaxias again. Attack with everybody under the sun. And this is the best showing that I've had. I was afraid I'd have to cancel it out just because the phone rang in the middle of all that, but hopefully that wasn't that big of an interruption, because they don't have a legion of people to edit these anymore. So, I think I mentioned earlier, my playtesting of this was horrible. I kept losing, and we didn't get the perfect hand, right? We didn't get like 3 Taxidermists and Mirror Box and Jin-Gitaxias out in the first 5 turns, but we did pretty good, and we just got an Evolving Door, which is kind of cool. I haven't made a deck with Evolving Door yet. I may have to. We'll see if I have 4 copies or not. But let's go back in and we'll show you the entire deck one more time before we leave. And, you know, if you guys would do something different with this, let me know. Because, like I said, this is not my original conception. The idea of using Mirror Box and making copies of Mirror Box, I think, is a fantastic idea. Oh, I do have 4 copies of it. Good. And of course, everybody loves when you get Jin-Gitaxias out, right? The Replication Specialist worked out really well as far as my contribution to it. And Augur of Autumn, just adding in that 1, I thought was... it really made a big turnaround, because I lost a lot with this the last couple days I've been playtesting it. I mean, just a ton. I'd get just 2 lands and that was it, or I'd flood out with 8 lands in a row. It was disgusting. So... being able to moderate your land drops with Augur of Autumn is priceless. And maybe that's what changed it for me. But the concept itself is one that I like. And I hope you guys like this video. I hope you subscribe. That way when I put out another new one, you'll get notified. You can come watch me again. Tune in. We appreciate you. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Leave any comments that you want. Ask any questions. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Have a good one.